I do believe I must be live. I've got to be. It's telling me. Let me double check. And check, check, check. Haha. Yep, I am live. I am live. Don't expect anyone to join me, but I'm live. Here we go. I'll just tweet that. Ta-da! And oh, geez, there's a lot of people. Hi, 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 hi. let me pop out the chat. Hang on. As usual, I got to dick around. Top chat, live chat. Pop out chat. All right. 1 second. Add video source. Be with you in a second. Video. Devices, screen capture, monitor, window. Got to set this up manually each time. Calculator, no. Facebook, Chrome. Landing live, Chrome. Nope, that's not it. I'll get it. Should have got here earlier. Me, that is. Not you guys. Live chat. There it is. Ta-da! I'm a genius. Look at this. There we go. Good to go. All right, we're good to go. Hello, everyone. Oklahoma, Switzerland. What film is this? Hi, Dave. Did they get the units right? Let's hope they got the units right. How's my audio? I'm pretty sure my audio is good, but give me a thumbs up. And can you hear the system audio? I just switched it on now.
We also call this maneuver
that's the
SUFR, S-U-F-R,
that's
or
this feed
straighten
here.
up and fly right. So we'll go ahead and eject those masses when
Sounds
we get,
good. Audio's good.
Trigger from the
yeah,
DNC
audio
system,
good. Yep, sounding great.
That we're at the appropriate
Excellent.
range to the target to do so. As soon as we deploy those,
using a
we
new
will,
microphone today,
no longer have a CG offset.
which is always dangerous.
And, we'll be
Should I
ready
leave
to
the
deploy
background
the,
audio on?
parachute 17
Let me
seconds
know if you
later.
want me to leave the background audio on or not. Because it was pretty boring before. They just had like, oh, I'm looking at the bloody microphone. What's
in store for them?
I'm staring at the microphone because I got my microphone right in
I'm
front.
gonna hold here for
Now
video
instead
prep
of here,
as,
normally I have
we're
it
about
like
to start
here on a
that
boom
anchor.
arm coming in, and now it's there and it's distracting me.
And activity, please call that out when it's ready. Copy. Flight.
Background audio on. Someone leave on half. Is it a good level, the background? Yeah, background audio is good. Thank you. I didn't think anyone had joined me. I didn't think anyone had bothered showing up. I thought you'd all be watching either
Now,
the
Rob,
feed yourself
you've been right
or
where
you'd
the
be watching one of
Perseverance
the
team is
space
sitting now.
YouTubers do it.
What's in store for them as we approach landing?
I mean, I'd
Well, this
probably
is
be watching one of the space
this is the
YouTubers,
nail-biting
I
time.
guess.
Unfortunately,
was,
we still have ones and
not
zeros
you
coming, but
guys.
very soon, as we approach cruise stage separation, the transmitter on
Yeah,
the
588
rover that's been-
people.
we've been
Thank you
using
very
all the way to
much.
get to Mars is going to be turned off.
Feel free to leave and watch the and watch the
and we will lose
live
the ability
feed
to see
yourself
ones and
when it
zeros.
happens.
But the good thing is
But,
once the cruise stage is gone,
Mark
there's another radio
Rober says hi.
that will continue transmitting a
Oh no,
tone
that's the other. Oh,
to
reading the
like,
wrong
like
chat.
a flashlight that will allow us to see, at least see that
Gotta
the
read
vehicle
my
is
chat.
still on.
Oh, you're
And
watching
that-
Tim
and that-
Dodd,
and
the
that
Everyday
color of that
Astronaut. Cool.
flashlight tells us a
Yeah, I
little bit
liked
what-
him.
what state
He's
the
kicking me
rover's
out of
in.
the park, isn't
But
he?
soon after that, it won't be very long before we'll be able to
And I don't
hear
even think
more
he
ones and
has like a
zeros coming from the
background in
spacecraft.
engineering
So
or
this is a really
space
exciting
or
time,
anything
and
like
I
that. I
just
think he's
important
like a
to remind
photographer.
people
He
this
started
is
out as a professional
there's a lot
photographer
that
or
can go
something.
wrong in a day like today.
And he's
There's
killing it.
thousands of things
Scott
that have to
Manley.
go right.
I can't do the deep voice. I'm so
We had
jealous of the
success
deep
in the
Scott
past
Manley
landing
voice.
on Mars. You'd think it gets easier, but it really doesn't.
Can we lose
Why
the
is it
chat
still so
box?
difficult?
What? You want to?
Well, it's
You want to?
well,
You want me to
because
lose
it's
the chat
involved
box?
Thousands and thousands of things, hundreds of thousands of lines of code. There is.
Really? You want me to lose the chat box?
Devices, each
I
have
like
to
having the
work
chat box
perfectly.
there.
One critical wire short or one key thing.
Are we going to see it land on camera? I believe. Well, it's got
so
extra
it's, you know,
landing cameras this time.
so
it's got
and
live
it's very easy. We're
landing
human
cameras. I don't
beings.
know if
We're
it
not
stores it
perfect.
and sends it
Mistakes
later or
can
whether or
be
not it
made.
streams it live.
We count on each other.
But
to
I think it
find,
there
our
is
own
extra
mistakes,
landing
and
cameras
and we,
over the Opportunity
work very
rover
hard
last
to,
time.
To learn from
So
mistakes
yeah,
of the past.
it's
we've had many failures. Remind
yeah,
people,
I'm a more handsome nerd,
roughly
thank
half,
you.
little,
We-
around half of the missions to
Uh,
Mars
yeah,
over
so we
history
should-
have failed.
we should
And
get
so
it,
it's-
I think.
it's-
We
it's
should
got to
get a
happen today,
better-
too. Even though we've had a
we should
nice,
get more
wonderful
stuff.
string of
Should be
successes
more better.
in the United States, it's still still a bit of a gamble. A gamble that we have hoped that
So
we
I
have,
believe
we
it
have erred to the
lands
side of luck.
at, it's now
And we've stacked the deck, we've stacked the
7:33.
deck
I believe it lands at
and loaded the dice to
7:55
make this thing succeed.
a.m. Sydney
But,
time, that
if
is.
we do fail,
How
and
long
something
is
bad
the
happens today,
delay?
I can
20
tell you,
minutes.
we're
It's
going to
7
learn.
minutes,
We'll
isn't
have
it?
the data that tell
What's
us what
the
happened.
the
We'll know
7
why.
minutes
We'll
of terror?
figure
Is it
out.
still 7 minutes?
And-
Depends.
and-
It
and
changes.
if
Depends
we
on the orbit.
Are allowed, we will pick
And
ourselves
ah,
up and get us
live,
back on the
11-minute delay.
And
Okay.
if Congress and NASA allow, we will try again.
Yeah.
As we always
So
do.
it's
We will
already
learn
close
from
to
our
land. I
mistakes.
mean, it's already.
And
What has it already
what are
hit
the
the
possible
atmosphere? If it's 20
scenarios
minutes,
we could be
is it
looking
20
at
minutes of
today?
terror this time? Is it?
Well, there's.
Or are they still calling it 7 minutes of terror?
One of the key stressful elements for all of us is parachute inflation.
11 minutes
but
of
just
terror,
even
is it?
separating from the cruise stage is a pretty major event. Lots of devices.
Dave
have to
streaming
work
YouTube is a
properly.
bit how you doing.
Certainly,
Yeah, it
heat shield
always is.
separation. Getting the descent engine started. There's no less than
At least I can operate a camera and a microphone,
rocket motors
mostly.
that have to work. 8 to control during entry. Another 8
Well,
to
it'd be
control
very
during
cagey
landing.
about public release
I
of
said, that's a
feeds.
lot of stuff, and it all has to work.
Really?
And guess
No, they
what?
haven't?
We haven't done this before
they?
with this
No.
vehicle ever. This is its first attempt.
Thank you very
to
much,
actually
Brad
land.
W,
We-
for
we
the
can't
10
try this
Canadian
on Earth.
buckaroos.
We can't do. We don't have test pilots
Thank
to
you
try
very
it out on
much.
this
Love to
planet
see
before
more
the big
scam
show.
starter
So this
debunking
vehicle's
videos.
doing it
Oh
for the
yeah, there's
first time. We've
so
done the
many.
best we could do in
There's
bits and pieces.
so many
But, you know,
scams out there.
It's
It's
as
just.
best as we could do, and
And some of
our
them,
team
like,
is up to it.
you,
We've-
like
this
I always
team is
debate,
the
like
best,
people send me them
diverse,
all the time, and
intelligent,
please send me the
amazing
links
group
if you
of
see
people.
something.
People from all over
But
the
some
world
of them
who
I
worked
just
on
go,
this,
oh
not
look,
just
it's
here in
not,
California,
you
but
know, it's
all over
raised
NASA,
$1 on
contributors
Kickstarter or
from
Indiegogo or
aerospace
something. It's
universities,
never it's
countries
not
around
getting
the
any
world.
traction.
It
It's
is
clearly
an
just
incredible,
ridiculous. It's not even
remarkable
worth the
engineering
oxygen,
achievement.
you know.
And I am just so proud of this
But if
team.
anything's like raised significant
Thanks,
money
Rob. Now, let's
or
listen
whatever,
back
like somebody
into
sent me
mission control.
one the other day. It's a scam battery or whatever. They're
there
just
are 14
repurposing a
minutes
battery
from
as a
entry
supercapacitor.
interface.
And he's got
vehicle is
evidence of this, but
currently
not evidence that I can
preparing
share
the
publicly.
key rejection
I've just sort of
that
got got to
kept
take his
thermal
word
system
for it.
cool inside the air ducts over the
And
last 6
it's like,
months.
yeah,
This will
okay,
allow
it's a
the
big
system
scam,
more
but it's
easily
like it
touch the
hasn't made the
line
headlines.
in
It's like a
upcoming
nothing
cruise stage
burger. It'll just
separation,
die.
which is under 4 minutes
You know.
now.
So, what was that? 4 minutes?
We have now enabled the rover pyro bus.
Everyone's just going cam 1, cam 2 in the.
That's the pyrotechnic.
I'm just looking at
system,
the
that
comments
was
in
We are
the.
powering off the cruise stage devices.
And these are the things in the cruise stage that we no longer need. With the pyrotechnic system
So you can
working,
hear the background audio?
We can explode the devices.
The
That's
vehicle is
separate.
preparing for the upcoming cruise stage operation in about 3 minutes 15 seconds
3 minutes.
by powering off all the devices on the cruise stage in order that they can
Cruise
stay
stage
once
separation in 3
the
minutes.
cruise stage is jettisoned.
Yeah, this is a.
Yeah, audio's
this cruise
good,
stage has
excellent.
been
I'll
very
just leave it.
reliable.
Why the frowny
We are
face,
firing
Steve?
our first pyros to vent the HRS liquid and gas.
This has been the coolant that's kept their vehicle from getting too hot on the way to Mars. We have to vent it into space.
I'll make the chat smaller.
And so this is one of the first major events that take place as part our entry, descent, landing.
The HRS bent anchor is complete.
Yes.
We will see the next anchor in approximately
It's complete.
3 minutes.
Something just completed.
Okay.
You gave a little...
We are currently 12.5 minutes
Got
from
excited
entry
there.
interface. We are coming upon cruise stage separation in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
2 minutes. Cruise stage separation.
What's happening now, Rob?
Okay, well, we're just waiting. The rover is completely in charge. It's doing all the things we've taught it how to do. It's all built into the software. We've tested it over and over and over again. This team has spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, testing this thing for years. And so this is really the culmination of all that work. So this
I could have the
vehicle
live
is
feed
getting
up,
ready
like
to
the simulation
push that
feed.
cruise stage away.
There's a whole
Once
simulation.
It gets pushed away, the entry system with the rover inside, with the rover still in charge, is going to get ready to take the vehicle, turn it to the right orientation, and aim it to Mars, and prepare for entering the atmosphere.
Because this sucker's not going into orbit. Where's the...
This won't be long. Be prepared for this event.
We're about 1.5 minutes from cruise stage separation, about 11 minutes, 20 seconds from entry interface.
There's all your...
So it's about 10 minutes from cruise stage separation till entering the top of the atmosphere.
There's the cruise stage.
Then out and
So
out.
we're going to
Things
separate that.
happen
We're switching
fast.
to MSSK tones. Telemetry will
In the
stop.
back shell, the descent stage, the rover, the heat shield.
Telecom is confirming that the spacecraft has switched to broadcasting tones.
It's
These tones are
switched.
received directly from Perseverance, but have very limited information content. We
There
won't
is a-
receive real-time information until about 9-10 minutes from now, once the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter starts relaying information.
Oh yeah,
from
the orbiter's
Perseverance.
going to relay it.
We are under a minute from cruise stage separation.
Because this thing doesn't go
about
into
10 and a
orbit.
half
This thing
minutes
just
from entry
slams in
interface.
at like 10 miles per second.
It's getting exciting.
It's nuts.
I have to admit, I am quite anxious, but very hopeful that this.
It's either
machine
landing
is
or bust.
gonna
There's
do
no
what we asked.
delays.
You're seeing the heartbeat tones.
They're getting
Okay,
heartbeat
That means that
tones.
there's no more ones and zeros coming. It's just the vehicle telling us it's still alive.
Right. That's handy. Alive or dead. Schrodinger's rover. There was a thing on here like giving us the...
Receive tones from Perseverance. Standing
Given
by
the
for
live
cruise
data,
stage
like how
separation.
fast it was going and stuff. I can't find it. Should have prepared better on this. Nah, there was a thing with live data. They're like telling you countdown how many kilometers to go and stuff. Well, I think they're the Yanks. I think they were still working in miles. So, yeah, I don't
We
know.
have indication that cruise stage separation has been confirmed by the spacecraft.
It's been confirmed.
We're
The
off on a
cruise
good
stage
start.
is separated.
In about 1 minute, Perseverance's landing software will wake up and begin the final
Woohoo!
preparations for entry. The
1
first
minute.
action it will do is to fire warm-up pulses with its entry thrusters. These pulses ensure that the spacecraft gets the thrust that it wants during entry interface. We're about 9 minutes from entry interface.
9 minutes from entry. Brilliant.
Okay, so now the vehicle's on its own. It's
Think
turning
NASA is
itself in the
metric?
direction
Well,
of
they had. I'm sure
facing
they had
heat shield
Imperial
toward
on their
Mars.
website.
And
Sure
will
they did.
Eventually hitting the top of the atmosphere. We're not far away. This is going to go very quickly from here on out.
And yeah, this is the simulation feed. You can actually call that up, and you can watch the simulation as it
confirmation
happens.
that, we've
And
got
it's not
shadows
just
by the
simulation; it
cruise
has the
stage,
live data, I think,
as it
or whatever.
passed through
So
our beam
it's all
to the Earth.
synchronized. There's all
Telecom
the
indicated
engineers.
actually that we could see a signal that the cruise stage.
Do they have
went
is Mohawk
between
dude still there?
the Perseverance entry capsule and Earth.
I mean,
We
the
saw a
amount of
little
publicity
blip,
he got from that the first time around, incredible.
the data stream indicating the cruise
Even
stage
got
separation.
called out by the president.
We have confirmation that the vehicle has started warming up those entry thrusters.
Warming
More
up,
pulses have begun.
because it's been sitting in the vacuum of space for like 9 months. How long did it take to get? It only took like 9 months or
At
something to
this
get there.
point, the
Can't believe how quick it's been.
spacecraft is trying to stop its spin from the cruise 2 revolutions per minute down to 0, and then we'll turn to its desired orientation from
It's got to stop
entry.
its spin. Okay,
It
so
will
yeah, you can see it rotating.
Separate the 2 balance masses that has kept it balanced during all of cruise. This will
D-spin.
allow the
There
entry
you go,
capsule to
miles.
have
See,
lift
miles. Told ya.
when it enters the atmosphere.
1,950
The
miles.
has turned to the desired entry attitude.
velocity
about
miles per
7.5
hour. It's slowed
minutes
down a
from
lot.
Entry interface.
See, I told you they were using
Okay,
miles.
the vehicle
I
is
told you.
pointed in the right direction. Thrusters are warmed up and doing their job. And now we've spun down from the two
Sagan is at home watching this. He's very excited. It's like 5 minutes before he has to go to school.
And then from here on out,
I don't think
it's
he's watching
gonna
my
just be
feed.
a
He's watching the
bullet
NASA feed.
and can control its orientation and attitude via rockets on the back of that back shell.
Points carrier lock. Sorry, DTE from radio.
Make sure you get the
science
call
from,
right.
Green Bank reports.
It's a bit
carrier
nervous.
lock. You see the carrier.
Everything's on the line. It's for all the marbles.
Flight level 1.
We are continuing to wait.
Oh
for
yeah,
entry
they'd be
interface
using
for about 6
metric
minutes
for
and
internal,
45
but
seconds for
external
entry
public
interface.
relations, because it's
We
mostly
have
it's the US
confirmation
taxpayer.
From Greenback that they
So,
are receiving
they don't
direct
understand metric.
Earth telemetry via that path.
7 months, was it?
The spacecraft Perseverance is currently transmitting heartbeat tones. These tones indicate that
Shit is
Perseverance
about to get real.
operating
You
normally
betcha.
and has nothing significant to report.
There's no backouts. There's no
Just
backies.
as expected. We're currently just over 6 minutes from entry interface.
So it's either going to land or it's going to plow right into it, or it's going to skip off. I think it's on target. They would know if it's totally off
Okay.
target by now.
And
So
now we wait.
I'm sure it's either landing or it's going to burn up or plow into, auger in. It's going to buy the farm.
As soon as we get to the top of the atmosphere, it'll be very quickly, which is the entry
I need
point.
1.5 million
It won't
people
be very
watching,
long
yeah.
before
YouTube's
the
holding
atmosphere
up.
will start
Man,
getting
I gotta
thicker
give
and
it-
thicker. It's going very
Un-
quickly.
unbelievable.
At a fairly steep angle of 15 degrees into
15
the atmosphere.
degrees.
And as it starts to slow
We're
down,
just under, we're about 5.5 minutes from entry interface. We're still receiving heartbeat tones.
I've got to say, the
we
masks
expect
suck.
to
I've got to
continue
say it.
receiving
I've got to be
heartbeat
the guy in
tones
the
until
room that
about
says
5
it.
minutes after entry.
I really
At that
hate
time,
it.
Perseverance will be no longer in view of our antennas here on Earth. About
And really,
90
like,
seconds
for
prior
something
to
of this
entry, the
importance,
Mars
I hate
Reconnaissance
not being
Orbiter
able to see
should
people's
begin receiving telemetry
mouths
from Perseverance
and excitements and
streaming it
smiles
to
and
Earth
stuff.
in near real time.
Yeah, got to say it.
There are a few expected short outages, such as when we have a plasma blackout or when we enter the peak heating
Thank
phase.
you, Kim,
Aside from
Andre.
these outages caused by the plasma blackout, antenna switching, or
I will
high
keep up the
dynamic
good work.
events, spacecraft events, we should have telemetry until about 90 seconds after
The
landing.
YouTube crashed in your end, did it?
A plasma blackout is when the signal from Perseverance isn't strong enough to make it through the superheated, super fast air flowing around the spacecraft.
Oh,
all the way
she's
down to
wearing
Earth.
two masks,
Once the
yeah.
temperature drops below that
Anyway,
heating,
let's
we do
not talk
reacquire
about the
signal
mask
from
thing.
Perseverance.
No, I think all
We
of
are
them are.
currently about 4.5 minutes from entry interface.
Oh, Def Bomb's here.
Perseverance
Thank you, William.
continues to report heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
Yeah, it should have landed already, right?
What we're looking for now is
It's either done or it hasn't.
Orbiter should be in view soon of our vehicle.
It's either on
and
the
be
surface
able to
and
listen to ones and
transmitting
zeros
back,
coming
or
from
it's
a
not.
separate radio that's really designed to talk between spacecraft.
But it doesn't really matter. We're
Yeah,
watching it
report, the
live,
electro
so,
radio
you
is
know,
powered
like,
on, ready to receive signals from the lander.
Okay. MRO is ready and able and waiting for to hear from our rover.
Mars Reconnaissance
Okay,
Orbiter has
so
reported that it's ready to receive
the reconnaissance
signal from
orbiter has got
Perseverance.
it's got the
should be
lock,
in,
so it's got
a
signal
few
lock.
minutes here. We're
So
just
they're transmitting data from that.
from entry.
They've got to
interface.
time it, so it's like, because otherwise, you know, the orbiter is an orbiter. It's orbiting the planet. It's got to
We don't need
come
these ones and
through
zeros,
at the
as
exact
Swati
window
said,
time.
But
So
to
that's
land
all been
safely, but we really need
timed.
it for our own health and well-being today to keep our nerves under control.
Yeah,
Around
everything's
this
already
time,
happened.
A second spacecraft,
It's already in
Maven,
1,000
should begin
pieces,
picking up telemetry from
burned up,
Perseverance,
or it's on
and will
the or it's on the
continue to
ground.
record that telemetry until several
Shit,
minutes post-landing.
man.
We won't get that data for several hours after landing.
Thank you,
as
Lightning
it's being
McQueen.
Recorded and
Big
then
fan from
will be
India. Thank you
forwarded
very much.
to Earth later. We are continuing to receive heartbeat tones, indicating that everything is nominal.
Come
We're
on,
currently
odds.
at
Everyone, give me
about
the odds.
3
I put it
minutes
at
until entry interface.
85%. It's going to do it.
Okay.
Because we've already had one success. I reckon 85. I reckon
Very
there's...
soon we'll be getting
I
ones
reckon
and
it'll do
zeros,
it.
I hope, from our radio on the rover.
I expect at least 4 pieces. Well, yeah, there will be. There'll be the heat shield. There'll be the parachute, the back shell or whatever.
The entry interface is nothing more than just an arbitrary place in the sky that we've defined to be above the atmosphere.
Right.
From that point
Atmospheric
on, there's
entry.
definitely
Put that 100 kilometers here
atmosphere, and
on
above
Earth.
it there isn't.
We are 2 minutes from entry interface.
Well, you got to have something. So
To transmit
73,
heartbeat sounds,
86,
indicating
1%.
everything is
I'm a pessimist.
So
Hey,
the
Mike's
tones
here.
can tell us
Mike's
whether
here.
something's
Schrodinger's
bad or not
spacecraft. It
happening.
is
So
a
so far the
Schrodinger's
heartbeat is
rover at the
doing
moment.
well. So the
Yep.
vehicle thinks it's helping. It's
both
in good
alive
shape
and
to
dead.
land, which is a great sign.
Perseverance. I so wanted them to call it the Carl Sagan, like the Sagan, but you know, they went with a similar theme. 100%. We need a win. Yes, I agree. We need a win.
We're just under 2 minutes.
It's already
from
big
entry
news,
interface.
isn't it? I think it's pretty
As
big
it gets
news.
closer to Mars, Perseverance is actually being pulled in by gravity and accelerating. By the time Perseverance
accelerate.
reaches entry interface point, she
Sure
should
someone's
be going
thought of that.
just under 5.4 kilometers per second. We're at about 90 seconds from entry interface and standing by for Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to pick up the telemetry.
50%, 420%. Someone's confident. They didn't. Thank God they didn't do this in 2020. It would have been doomed. I agree. What was it? 2020 was a shit show. So you guys can hear the audio good, yeah? The background audio. Just, I haven't touched anything. I'm not going to touch anything. You're deaf.
We
What are they
1
saying?
minute
They're just
from
talking
entry
about the
interface.
Mate, you can get up closed captions, can't you? If you can't hear, you would get up. Well, you probably can't hear me. You'd have to use closed captions. It's going to do it. It's going to do it.
MROs are in receive mode.
Nah, Murphy's not there. Nah,
We have
it's going to do it.
confirmation that the Mars Reconnaissance
I love the
Orbiter
blue
is
desk
now
lighting. Look at that.
viewing
Why doesn't the back
data
one have
from
the blue lighting?
Perseverance. We're about 30 seconds from entry interface. Perseverance is going about 5.2 kilometers per second and is about
Kilometers.
190 kilometers
Kilometers.
altitude above the surface of Mars.
Confirm your jet data flow.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, like I should have had like stats and stuff up. I don't care. Like I should have.
About
But
seconds
speed,
from entry interface,
5,000 meters per second.
5.3 kilometers per second, and an
158
altitude of,
kilometers.
150 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
Fuel, plenty of fuel, is it? I can't see. It's under the atmospheric entry thing. And it's coming in at 15 degrees. It's Oh, is that our target? Jezero crater. I knew it was landing in a crater, like
I
an
have
ancient
confirmation
crater.
of entry interface. Perseverance is currently going 5.3
That's a nothing
kilometers
burger.
per second at an
To
altitude of
confirm
about
that, it's just a
120 kilometers
arbitrary
from
height.
the surface of Mars.
Mark 28. No worries. And yeah, they can't slow it down with the
Is now
parachute. It's just,
waiting
it's not good
until
enough.
it begins
Well, they can slow it down, but they can't
Feeling
stop it.
the atmosphere.
So that's why it has to
slow it
do the
down.
powered
Once
descent.
there's enough atmosphere, it will start controlling its path to the landing target.
It's got little vector thrusters, I guess, controlling its path.
Navigation
And then
is
the
also
final corrections are done
confirming
by
that
the
we can
powered
see a little
descent.
bit of that slowdown of
And then they just
the
destroy that. All that
atmosphere
poor
on
little
the
descent
Perseverance
engine
capsule.
thing. This
Our
little
current
bad boy.
velocity is about 5.36 kilometers per second, and an
All this
altitude
bad
of
boy
about
in here.
67 kilometers from the surface.
All that does is one little job in the
We are
last,
probably
like,
seeing MRO plasma
30
blast.
seconds or something. Anyway, we have separated the cruise stage. That's done. And we've still got the heat shield and the back shell. And there's cameras in the back shell.
Vehicle should be doing its turn
And
right now.
cameras on the
MRO has
lander
locked
this time. So they've got a whole bunch of extra cameras. I don't know if we're going to see it live, though. I don't think so.
We have indications that Perseverance is now performing bank reversals in the atmosphere. These are the steps in order to control its distance to the landing target. Perseverance has just passed through
doing
the
its
point
job.
of maximum deceleration and
Brilliant.
has indicated that it felt approximately
So there's
10
like 20
Earth
steps left or
Gs
something,
of
is there?
deceleration.
30.
MRO has lock again.
28 steps or something.
Yes.
NRO is locked in. That's a Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter.
We saw a small outage.
Someone's going,
uh,
yes, yes, yes.
Of
in the
the
background.
UHF telemetry from Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter during
Come
that
on.
peak heating phase likely caused by the plasma blackout. Perseverance is still
Yes, it is
continuing to
CGI.
perform
That's not a
bank
real
reversals
shot.
in the atmosphere to control
that's the synced simulation.
its distance to the landing target.
Delete Facebook Australia. You'd get no complaints from me. It doesn't take hours to transmit the video. Oh, it takes hours to transmit that video back. Yeah, because it's not real time. They've got to buffer it. It's like high def, isn't it? Video, the landing video, but we will get video from it. Yeah, but I don't think it's live.
We have entered heading alignment, which means Perseverance is no longer trying to control the distance to Mars, to the target on Mars, but instead is flying straight to the target.
Flying straight in.
Parachute.
Man, just imagine spending years of your life on this and just could just burn up. Holy crap. No, they used a 1.3 megapixel camera, did they? Oh, well, whatever, we'll still get decent,
Our
you know.
current velocity is about 500
Decent video of it.
and 50 meters per second at an altitude of about 15 kilometers from the surface.
Dave, head for this moment. There's nothing else down the bottom corner. I'm not blocking anything.
Cameron's reporting good telemetry log.
We are coming upon the straighten up. We are starting the straighten up and fly right maneuver, where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground.
Hideous, no.
The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed, and we are seeing
Parachute.
deceleration
Awesome.
in the velocity. Our current
That helps.
velocity is 440 meters per second at an altitude of about 12 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
So parachute has deployed. Brilliant.
Perseverance is now slowed to subsonic speeds, and the heat shield has
Subsonic?
been separated. This
That quickly?
allows both the radar and the cameras to get
Oh, yeah?
their first look at the surface.
166
Current
meters per
velocity is
second.
145 meters per second.
Wow,
at an
I wasn't
altitude of about 10
watching the data.
9.5 kilometers above
That's
the surface.
slowed down from like 5,000 meters per second to... Wow. 150 meters per second. That's brilliant. But the parachute is still not enough to slow it down to land. So they've got to... That's why they've got to do the powered descent. Otherwise, it'd still be going a couple hundred kilometers an hour when it landed. And no. So they'll drop the back shell.
Yes.
Perseverance
Priming
now
logic
has radar
enabled.
lock on the ground. Current velocity is about
Radar's
100 meters
working.
per second.
Yes.
6.6 kilometers of the surface. Perseverance is continuing to descend on the parachute. We are coming up on the initialization of terrain relative navigation and subsequently the priming of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an
Wow.
altitude of 4.2 kilometers.
4.2 Ks above the surface. Wow. Radar's locked on.
Confirmation that the lander vision system has produced a valid solution and part of terrain relative navigation.
It's found a... Because it's got... This is autonomous landing. It's got to do
Timing
it
of the
itself.
landing engines.
It's got to figure out its own
Velocity
spot.
Is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers.
So that does
from
that
the surface
radar
Mars.
and visual.
We have confirmation that the back shell has separated.
Back shell's
We are
gone.
currently performing the divert maneuver. Current velocity is about 75 meters per second at an altitude of about a kilometer off the surface
Powered
of Mars.
descent's not far off. Keep
Here
the
in
keep the
Safety
checklist
Bravo.
up. Here it is.
We have completed our terrain relative navigation.
Powered
Current
approach.
speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars.
Oh! They're going to do it. They're going to do it. It's not going to fail from here. It's going to do it.
We have started our constant velocity.
But it's got to pick a
accordion,
spot,
which means we are
though.
conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky
But
crane
their
maneuver.
target window is
We've
much
lost
smaller than it was last
Tone.
time. So that's good. So they'll know exactly what the terrain's like.
Sky crane maneuver has started.
Sky crane has
20
started. It's
meters
dropped
off
it.
the surface.
It's dropped it. It's hanging. It's going dangly. Come on. Oh, you little beauty. Come on.
We're getting signals from MRO.
That's the relay satellite. Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance
Touch it! They did it! That's it! Oh!
ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
Too easy. Too easy. Oh, I need a bit more tension there.
The descent stage has flown away to a safe distance.
And it's flown away. It's flown away.
Continuing to transmit direct through.
Because you need it to fly away and then crash somewhere else. The powered descent vehicle. They did it. Son of a gun. They did it. Well done. Touchdown. Touchdown. How long before we get the first shot? Because they had the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter lock. They did it.
We got it.
Touchdown confirmed. We're going to wait for the images.
The guy's going to get him medical assistance.
The team is.
It looks like he's going to collapse.
It's
Poor
so
guy.
surreal. Stay tuned. We might get some pictures.
We will stay tuned. Yeah, 7:55 a.m. Sydney time, right on target. My boy Sagan's at home watching this, and Huxley probably, but Sagan was so excited. He's got to leave for school in 5 minutes.
He's been writing on this.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we just
They
heard
did
the
it.
news that Perseverance is alive.
Pixar,
on
it
the
didn't
surface
happen.
of Mars.
Yep, Pixar, it didn't happen. I agree.
It's not
Flight, we have seen the completion of EDL 3000. Copy activity. That is as expected.
A few minutes probably until pictures. Yeah, I think it wasn't long last time. And we'll just get some grainy thing of the wheel or whatever.
MRO still seeing a strong signal from the lander.
You're still getting a signal. All right. Because the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter won't stay there long. It's then got to bugger off. So we'll get our landing photo and that's it, I think. I don't know how long the Reconnaissance Orbiter stays in the window and can transmit stuff back, but...
We have just heard the news that
Oh,
Perseverance
no, I don't want-
is
no.
alive on the surface of Mars.
Mars, yay.
Congratulations
Now we
to
get
the
the-
mission. And looks like we have some more news in. It looks like we're getting the first
Oh,
image.
we got it. Look at look,
Here,
look.
take a look at the first
Look.
image.
Wow, that was quick. You can see the curvature, so it's upright.
I have the target point on the map when you are ready. We are
It's-
ready, OL3. Go for it.
It's upright. It's upright. You can see the curvature. Wow, they did it two out of 2 times. It was basically the same landing platform as last time. And they did it. Wow, 2 from 2. Wow.
Flight, I'll be moving in, showing you the
Oh,
safe zone that
the
we've landed
JPL
in.
Raw was ahead by a minute, was it? I'll tell you the story after this of last time I watched it, if I haven't already. Well, I haven't this time around.
The team has just put the first
Oh,
image
oh,
from
I missed it.
Perseverance
I was
on
watching
the
the
surface
chat.
of Mars.
There it is.
Now it comes
Show me that again.
from the engineering cameras known as the hazard camera. This camera is mainly used to help the rover drive safely around Mars.
Show us
and
close
we will
up.
get higher resolution photos later
Oh, there we
in
go.
the day.
Look at that. Yep. Gee, yeah, it's pretty flattish terrain. But that's what they picked. So they're inside a crater.
This is amazing.
They did it. Well done.
For Steve, stand by for
Why is
Steve.
it grayscale? I don't know. Maybe it's just a hazard camera. I don't think it's anything special. So, yeah, I don't think maybe it doesn't need to be color. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a simple low res first feed or something.
You did. You led the team. You made it happen.
I see Matt Damon. NASA is not good at live stream. It's okay, but yeah, it's not SpaceX. NASA is big again. Yes.
We just got our second image in.
Second image?
Our second image is in.
Is that it?
Okay, these we have a camera in the front. And
Oh, there's the
rear
wheel.
There's
the wheel. I get your dialogue box off.
They're near the ground, so these are pretty close. So you can see the wheels there, and they're a little dirty because we've got glass covers over these cameras. But we
glass
took these
covers.
seconds
Okay.
after landing, so there's still dust in the air from our landing event.
Yeah, they pop the
so
lenses off. That's
this
right.
is happening. This happened just seconds
Wow.
ago.
Oh, nice. Yeah, look at that.
This is really amazing.
Wow.
And we even know where we landed. This is the most amazing thing. The vehicle has told us where it's landed because it figured it out. You know, this is a sign. NASA works. NASA works. And when we put our arms together,
Bet your ass
and our
it
hands
works.
together, and our brains together, we can succeed. This is what NASA
What if
does.
Curiosity
This is
and
what we can do
Perseverance
as a
meet up?
country on all of the problems we
They'd
have.
have to
We need
socially
work
distance.
together to do these kinds of things and make success happen.
They have got cameras in decent places. This is just a hazard camera. It hasn't deployed. You know, it hasn't fully
Joining
deployed
us
yet.
now is the acting administrator of NASA, Steve.
And we will
Jurczyk.
get-
Steve, welcome and congratulations.
Hey, thank you. What an amazing day.
We will get
How
video
does it
of that
feel to
landing
have
because there's
another
multiple cameras,
rover
so
on
that's
Mars?
being uploaded probably
It's
now
amazing.
to the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter,
to
and then it'll
have
be
Perseverance
relayed
join
back.
Curiosity on Mars, and just a credit
Science
to the team.
lab on Mars,
I mean, just
another
what
one,
an
second
amazing
one.
Team.
Unbelievable. It had better work.
to
2.8
through
billion.
all the adversity,
Color camera costs
that
extra.
goes, and all the challenges that go with landing a rover on Mars, plus the challenges of COVID, and just an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah, that's tough
And
under
what
the
does
whole
this mean for
COVID
NASA
crap.
and its future plans?
So for
Yep.
robotic
They
exploration,
still did it.
every
And
time
unbelievable.
we execute a
Unbelievable.
mission with new instruments, we discover new things and things we never thought we would discover.
Yeah, it'll be a
So
while before we
that
get
always
HD stuff in
informs
that
our
video.
future
I'm looking
robotic
forward to that
missions,
video. That'll be great.
both landers,
Because we'll
rovers,
get,
and orbiters.
believe we'll get video of the
This
separation
mission
and then
also
of the,
has
I think they've got
technology
one on the
One of the cool
powered
things is the
descent vehicle as
Ingenuity
well, so we should
helicopter.
see it hanging, I think.
It's an experiment on this mission.
So,
but
in
if
fact,
it's
we can have a
successful,
look.
We can use it as an science
Yeah,
observation platform by putting instruments
learn
on
more
it,
about the
and also use
descent
it as a
stage,
scout for future rover
one of
missions.
the road descent.
And then
Yeah,
just the
I think there's a
intercept
camera on that,
landing,
so we should see it dangling.
capability. It'll allow us
and then
to
there's
land
another one on the
more
back
and
shell,
more
so we'll see
larger,
the
more
back shell.
ambitious robots on the
We'll
surface
see
of
the
Mars.
descent
And then
stage
for
come
human
out, I believe.
exploration,
So I might
we
even see the
have
parachutes. I
the
think don't they have one pointing up?
Mars
They've
Intercept
got
Landing Instrumentation, which
quite
is
a few
going to give us
cameras.
EDL information.
So
We have the Mars Environmental Dynamics Analyzer. It's going to give us properties, size
this
and
has got-
properties of dust particles, because
this has got tons of stuff on it. Very different instruments to
it's just,
the previous
this is just
rover.
an incredible mission
Very
because
different.
of the science and
Got
the
different,
technology
science mission
and
objectives.
caching samples for a Mars sample return mission. That will be an amazing mission, the first round trip to Mars and back, and bringing those samples cached by Perseverance
video's
back to
gonna be
Earth
awesome.
to
It's gonna be great.
examine with state-of-the-art equipment in our laboratories here on Earth.
We have so much to look forward to.
Solar
And
freaking
we
Mars
also have
ways.
a student question coming in from Landon. Let's take a look.
Thank you from Portugal. Hold on, my
Hi,
Portuguese
my
viewers.
name is Landon Applegate. I'm in 6th grade, and I'm going to
on
Academy
you, mate.
for Academic Excellence. And my question is, do you think we could get resources from Mars to help on future missions, or even as like a launching point?
Great question, Landon. Actually, we have an experiment called the
Landon?
the Mars
Is that his name?
Oxygen
Landon.
In situ Resource Utilization Experiment,
That's
or
great.
MOXIE, and it's going to demonstrate generating oxygen from atmospheric CO2, and that could help generate breathable oxygen, and even if we can liquefy it, oxidizer for propulsion systems. So that's a tech demo on Perseverance. And then we're going to continue to characterize the frozen water on and below the surface
All
of
right, should I,
Mars, and eventually try to figure out how to extract
Let me
that
know if I
water
should kill
from the
this
Martian
audio
soil, or
feed.
what we call
Should I keep it
regolith.
going or not?
And then we can use that for potable water and also break it down into oxygen and hydrogen.
Great question.
For rocket fuel. So
Because the
absolutely, we're
questions
gonna
have
try to
been pre-selected,
eventually
and
figure
they
out
are
how
great
to live off
questions.
the land to support human missions to Mars.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, Steve.
Thank you.
And now that Perseverance has safely touched down on Mars, let's learn more about what's in store for the rover. Joining us now is Surface Mission Manager Jessica Samuels. Jessica, your surface operations team has now taken over. What are they doing now?
Yes, hi Raquel. We are so excited here in the Surface Mission Support area.
I want to hear what she has to say.
The team will do a handover with the entry, descent, and landing team and pass any critical information. And then this team behind us will be the team that does the health and safety assessments daily as we progress on this mission.
OH&S, of course. OH&S have to do.
What do the upcoming weeks look like for your team?
So as we
got to file an OH&S report and TPS reports.
The commanding team will be working overnight while the rover is asleep so that we can perform the initial checkouts of our key rover functions.
Would I vote for Thunderfoot for dictator, a scientific government?
Do this all in time
a dictatorship's the only way to get stuff done.
Which happens in the morning. And so we will be working around the clock, making sure that Perseverance is healthy, and we will begin this exciting adventure.
Full footage of the landing when Spielberg has had the chance to finish it off.
Living on Mars time.
It's a little bit like
OH&S doesn't leave us
flying
alone.
and changing your time zone. The rover,
health and safety on Mars.
On Earth, the rover wakes up at the same time every day, but on Earth that's 40 minutes later. So the team is going to be shifting our work schedule by 40 minutes as we come into work over the next few weeks. So it'll be
interesting to see what they choose for the flat Mars flag.
Some late nights, but we're also excited and we can't wait.
Debunking time.
Whole new lifestyle.
Yes.
We also have a student question for you.
She might sound nervous. She probably hasn't done this much.
This is Sophia's video.
Hi, my name is Sophia Lopez, and my question for NASA is, how's Perseverance going to survive? And here's a drawing that I made from Perseverance.
All right, they just...
Thank you.
How's it going to survive?
Well, Sophia, Perseverance survives
I'll kill the audio.
With a power source that charges its batteries overnight while it sleeps, and it keeps...
Gone. Gonski. There's the NASA control. They're watching the feed. The main NASA feed up here. But you got the same audio. I was watching this one before, and it's exactly the same. They were just like the audio feed on this was just them watching that. Well, it was just the feed from the big screen there. So from this. A sneak peek into the future. Oh. Can't believe they did it. Well, I can. They did it. I gave, what did I give it at the thing? 85% or something? Oh, story time, Dave. Yes. I tell you the story of last time. Right. Oh, geez. Okay. I'm not used to the silence now. Yeah, the story last time. If you don't, thank you very much, Trumpet Sock. 400 rubles. I'm sure that is. Just stopping by to say thank you for educational content. Thank you very much. And yes, the story. The last time Opportunity landed. When was it? Like 2012 or something? It was so long ago. Geez, almost a decade ago now. Crazy long time ago. When Opportunity rover landed, I thought, oh, look, I'll go somewhere to record the event or whatever. So I went to, I actually went to two places. I went to the Powerhouse Museum because they said that they had a thing on, right? They had like a live event and everything. So I went there and they weren't doing jack all, like nothing was happening. It was deserted. Nothing was going on, and I thought this is boring as batshit. So I looked at, I looked around. And I thought, oh, I was either going to go back home, or because this was like many hours before, so I had time enough to go home and then watch it live on my, just via the feed or whatever. And then, but then I read that Sydney Observatory had an event, and I thought, oh, they're the space nerds, right? You know, the Sydney Observatory, they'll do it right, and they were having like a big media event and stuff. So I went to the Sydney Observatory to watch it. And I got there, and you know, they had a room set up with all the chairs and the big screen. And, you know, it looked okay. This is all right, you know. So I hung around, and it's getting like, and of course I couldn't go back home at this point. It was too late. So I'll go, okay, I'll sit here and watch it. And so we're all in the big room watching this thing on the big screen, and I was recording stuff, and you know, I had the camera set up, and I was doing stuff and everything. And then I like I'm looking at my watch, and I'm going, I think it's already landed. And it was like half an hour. It was still like half an hour before or something. And it was getting like, and then I thought, it's like 20 minutes. It's like, no, 10 minutes past when it had already landed, and they haven't. I know there was like the 7 minutes of terror, you know, but it was like, they hadn't even started like the entry into the atmosphere yet. And I'm going, this thing's already been on the surface for like 10 minutes. So it was like, it was at least 20 or 30 minutes behind or something like that. And I keep looking at my watch, and I'm scratching my head, and I'm checking, you know, I didn't want to check Twitter, but, you know, I'm checking the phone and checking the time, that, you know, and I'm going, yeah, it's right. And the guy next to me is going, he's pointing at his watch, you know, because everyone's, you know, they're telling everyone to be quiet and everything because it's about to happen. And, you know, he's pointing at his watch, and I'm going, yeah, you know, like, what the fuck? Like, and then we start whispering to each other, I think it's loud. It's like, it's already landed, hasn't it? And he's going, yeah, I think so. So I open up Twitter, and everyone's fucking celebrating. You know, they've been celebrating for like 10 minutes. And it hadn't even, they were only just like starting the atmospheric entry or something. And these bastards had actually delayed it by like deliberately delayed it at the Sydney Observatory by like 20 minutes or something. I don't know why. And then we're, you know, still talking to each other, and then somebody comes in, and we both get a tap on the shoulder going, shut up or leave, you know, and we're going, what the fuck? And it's like, so we just like walked out, and it's like, you gotta be shitting me. So yeah, we were pissed off. Like, and it just took all the excitement away from it. So I totally missed it. I should have just sat home and watched the live freaking stream. Like, yeah, we were pissed off. So yeah, Sydney Observatory, thumbs down, pathetic. Yep, 20-minute delay. Like at least that was on top of the actual signal delay, right? And yeah, yep. I was so excited about that landing, it was completely ruined. So yep. So that's my story. Anyway, still traumatized. So I thought I'd just watch it myself this time. Yes, Sean, it landed. It worked. We got photos back. We got a couple of photos, and there's the Ingenuity, the copter thing that they're going to deploy. I don't think that gets deployed for like a week or something. I think it's, you know, they're going to do lots of stuff first. And one of the crazy things about this is it's got a sample capsule thing underneath. There's a robotic arm underneath the rover. We'll see if we can get it. It's underneath the rover. Learn more about the rover. There's a sample collection system under the rover, and it's got this robotic arm that it's got all these capsules where it can dig up like 1-inch core samples or something. So it's going to get core samples. It's going to put them into these capsules. It's going to seal them and then just toss them onto the surface. So it just poops them onto the surface. And the reason that they're doing this is so that, and they'll do it as soon as possible, so that it doesn't have time to contaminate the material, right? So all these materials will be pristine condition for when another rover comes along in the future and can then pick up these capsules and return them to Earth. It's like, I don't know. I think that's, I don't get it. You know, but I guess they got it all figured out that it's, you know, it's cheaper and easier to have the poop machine now actually take these samples and to drill them to get these core samples, these big core samples, like 1 inch deep or 1 inch wide or something, big core samples, and then seal them in hermetically sealed capsules, and then it poops them out the back and just leaves them on the surface, and then apparently, or does it store them in the bottom, and then the rover in the future comes along. No, I think it poops them out. Yeah, it poops them out. And they just lie on the surface waiting for some future rover, if they get the budget. I don't know if they've already got the budget for it, to come along, and then, you know, they've already got those hermetically sealed capsules to... I don't know. Maybe that's a cheaper solution, but I don't get it. I think it's a bit... Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah. Oh, no, it's a core sample. I think it's 1 inch wide, I think, and it's a big core sample. I think it's a deep, like, not deep, not like meters deep, but it's a core sample. So, yeah, I don't know. But you want a combination of stuff. You'd want a combination of topsoil and core, wouldn't you? Oh, Mark Rober did a video on the poopy arm, did he? Yeah. Yeah, how will they find the little turds? I don't know. Can I do a video on impedance? Yeah, probably, actually. That's kind of part of my... Yeah, can do. Most expensive poop samples ever. They got leaded solder, you think, instead of that lead-free rubbish? I know they do have an exemption. They have a ROS exemption. Yeah, they won't get samples back for a decade. could land humans before then, you know. Yeah, the dust storms will cover. Yeah, like I don't know if that's a good idea. Anyway, they went to a lot of effort to designing this robotic sample arm on the bottom of the rover and these little storage spaces and the capsules and everything. They went to a lot of effort to do it. So obviously they think it's super important, but I don't know. I mean, it's not hard. I mean, you know, it's not like this little rover is going to contaminate all of Mars, right? It's just, you know, land anywhere else with another rover, take the samples and boom, shoot back. That's it. You don't need to go hunt and find these poop samples to, like, I don't get it. I think someone was having a wank there, and they got their wanky idea approved. I don't know. Can somebody convince me otherwise that the poop return thing is superior to every other return mission idea? Yeah, I don't get it. Even if we had humans there, humans went there and scooped up the samples, we're not going to contaminate it, for goodness. Like, you know, there's ways to do that. You know, there's ways to not contaminate it. It's just... What happened to Curiosity? Curiosity's still going. It's still a thing. Still way beyond its mission life. What's it been going, 8 years now or something at least? I think it's got like another 5 years of power or something. Don't quote me on that, but it's got a lot. Yeah, the other rover's smaller and simpler, but, you know, I don't know. It's still got to be a sample return mission. It's complicated enough. Next phase scheduled. Next phase of the mission, I don't know. They're still talking about the Ingenuity copter there. Make them fight, yeah. But yeah, 2 science labs. And that's what these are. These are science labs. These aren't just like little, you know, like the Sojourner rover and stuff that went around. They were like little piddly things. These are genuine science labs. And this one's very different. This one's designed to look for signs of life. So it's landed in a crater, a lake bed, bottom of a lake bed, like a, yeah. They're pretty sure there was water there at the bottom of this lake. So, yep. It was really flat and sort of, you know, there wasn't much there where they landed, but that was the idea, I guess, because it's a rover, they can just move it. So assuming that it doesn't get stuck, assuming that, you know, the wheels work and everything's hunky-dory, but yeah, that whole complicated crane system, that's 2 for 2. The powered descent vehicle, which is nothing new. They were doing that for Viking. They did powered descent for Viking, goodness, back in the 70s, you know. So, you know, they had that sorted, the powered descent thing, but then it drops it on the tether, and then it then it drops it down, deploys, the wheels have to come out, and it's got to land nice and gently, and then it's got to cut the cables, and then it's got to whoosh. Imagine if the cables didn't cut. Imagine if the cables didn't cut, and then the thing tried to fly away and it just pulls the rover away. I wonder if it would. Does anyone know if it would have had the thrust to, like, lift, let's say the cables didn't cut, and, you know, they'd use pyrotechnic charges. They're pretty safe. I've done a video on those, firing one of those off, and they're, you know, they're pretty good, but, you know, if pretty reliable. But if they didn't, would it have had enough thrust to actually pull the rover, which weighs a couple of tons, I think? What did I know, a ton or something? Weighs a lot. Weighs, you know, it's the size of a small car. Would it have had the thrust to actually pull the rover back off the surface, or would it have just, you know, the rover was heavy enough that it would have just went, and then on the tether would have just boom, or maybe pulled it over, flipped the rover over or something like that? Oh man, imagine that. Imagine if that happened and the photos come back of the rover's on its side and then there's the descent thing still trying to fire its thrusters. Oh man. That's like, half of me just wants to see that for the lols, you know. I love a good failure. Oh, man. Nuclear battery inside the robot will leak. It won't rendezvous with the Curiosity rover. They're thousands of kilometres apart, I believe. So there's no chance of them meeting up. Sure it would. Oh, yeah, it would have the thrust, right? Yeah, they wouldn't hover at 100%. Yes, it must, right? By definition. Oh, no. Oh, well, no, it slows it to like a couple of meters per second or something like that, or 1 meter per second or something like that. So it's got enough thrust to do that, and then it's got a... but I don't know. Maybe it was on the thrust was on the borderline. Who knows? Who knows? It might have had, you know, just enough thrust to lower it at the speed, and then no more thrust. But once the cables are cut, then of course all that weight, and then it vroom, flies away. So maybe it, you know, it didn't engage more thrusters and then fly away. Maybe that's all it had. So I don't know. I think it's not a given that it could have lifted the sucker and flown it away. Without all the interview stuff. Oh, right, yeah. JPL, yeah, that's it. Is that, what's their audio on there? Because last I checked, their audio is the same as the other audio. Oh, yeah, no, it's the same audio. Oh, God, they got, what? What the hell is the... They've got a bloody... Who's that singing? Unbelievable. I've got a band playing. Flow ready in observance. The rover landing. Great. Yeah. Anyway, there's mission control. Yeah, these are the people on the ground. That's what I want to see. I'll leave it there. Don't want to see the other wanky feed. Yep. Yeah, it was a bit cheesy. I thought, you know, the hosts that they, like, I was watching it, like, you know, like 6:30 this morning and stuff like that, and it was pretty cheesy, you know. These presenters that they had, they were more presentery than engineery, you know, and I don't know, it just, yeah, it is what it is, though. Some dude doing a cover of a David Bowie song. Okay, yeah. Right, Life on Mars by Bowie, right. I've used Linux just a tiny bit. Tiny. But no is the answer to that, really. It didn't crash. Yeah, we'll get the video. Yep, that was transmitted to the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. And it's probably making its way back now. Remnants of Beagle. Yeah, I know, that blue LED strip on top of the consoles. It's pretty wanky. We want metric. Enough freedom units. And aren't I on JPL Raw? This is JPL, or is there another JPL Raw, is there? JPL Raw. Oh yeah, JPL Raw. Okay, thank you. Oh, no. Yeah, no, they've cut off JPL Raw, haven't they? Oh no, no, it's back, is it? No. Like it just finished a second ago, did it? What's going on? Yeah, that's the clean feed without. Yeah, I did know about that. I should have put that up. Yeah, there they are. They're the ones who do the business. And all the engineers who built the thing, you know. These are just the controllers. Yep, they forgot to convert imperial to metric. Yeah, what probe was that? The that was the lunar. That was not the lunar. The polar probe, Mars Polar Observatory, was it? Mars Polar Orbiter or something? No, it wasn't orbiter. It was designed to land. Yeah. Yeah. They just cut the raw. Yep. The raw's been cut. Sorry. Oh, they're interviewing Tim Dodd. There you go. They've got Tim Dodd. Let's listen to Tim Dodd. He's cool.
So, it'll still be very exciting when things land on the surface, in my opinion.
Why have him tiny window?
Lodge Christensen says, "Will Perseverance rover record the
first
flight
everyday
of
astronaut?
the
Sorry,
helicopter?"
switched.
Greetings from Denmark. Well, hello, Denmark. I think it will, and it
That's
literally will
everyday
point
astronaut.
the cameras at Ingenuity, and hopefully they both can record each other and get awesome, never before seen video on the surface of Mars. I'm really, I know that it is actually the plan to watch the first flight of it, so that would be super, super cool.
He would have done his research, he'd know. So, yeah, that must have switched. Oh, NASA feed is gone. Oh, yeah, all the feed's gone. Everything's gone. It's all gone. It's all gone. Everything's gone. That's it. All we're left with is oh, look at it. Look at it. We can 3D it. Yeah, there's the sample arm thing, right? There's the little robot sample arm.
Do you remember? I don't know if I've heard, actually.
There it is. And they're the little sample storage thing. So they got the little hermetically sealed
Rizzy,
tubes in them.
Thank you very much.
And then they somehow open them up and they put the samples in, and then they hermetically seal them again.
That amount of time
and
before
then
we found out
poops them out onto the surface.
So TC, there's 11 minutes of communications delay. So
and
what we were celebrating was when we got data
copter? Is that
back
under there
telling
somewhere?
us that it landed 11 minutes ago, basically, right? So there's nothing that you can do in between that. It's all autonomous. So it's just a matter of like holding your breath and hoping.
Click for more info.
So in real life, it was about
anyway,
it was about
big power source.
45 minutes ago from right now. It landed on the surface, but about 34 minutes ago or so, we actually heard about it and knew for sure. We got the data back. Yeah, and that's.
Well, it's killed Tim Dodd, and yeah, it's got a very different science package to what it had before. There's some stereoscopic cameras. Is that is that the part of the hazard cam that we got the first shot from? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Or is it one of those? It's probably one of those that we got a shot from. Got the first shot because we got it like a part of the wheel, and then could see some of the surface. They're just the hazard cameras. So. Yeah, but it's the same body and everything else, but all the instruments are different. Like all the, it didn't have the sample thing. It didn't have the Ingenuity copter in it. It drops down a helicopter somewhere, and it's got a whole different slew of. I don't know how many instruments are the same. I don't think there's many that are the same. The camera systems. I think even camera systems upgraded and stuff. But yeah, the photos we got last time absolutely spectacular. So. Oh, yeah, there's the, high gain antenna transmits directly to and from Earth. Here we go. Can we, power, there's the power source. How long is it going to last? Oh, we could just, you could learn more about that. Oh, come on, we need more. Oh, yeah, front has cams, yep. That's the arm, of course. Suspension. Body. Yeah, that's the coring drill, of course. Sample handling. Have they still got the sundial on there? Oh, yeah, yeah, there it is. There's your sundial. Yep. Yep, there it is. And, anyway, very cool. We have a car size. People don't realise, some people think like this is like quite small. This is the size of a car. This thing's huge, all right? It weighs like a ton or something, over a ton. It's incredible. Yeah, and the only way to get that sort of mass, like they couldn't, a lot of people ask why didn't they use the, the bouncy inflatable ball thing to land it on the surface like they did back in the 2000s, with the couple of rovers they did back then. It's weight, size and weight. You just can't do it. So they had to go for the powered descent thing. This thing's the size of a car. You can't bouncy land. You can bouncy land something like this big, right? The previous rovers were only like, small little rovers like this. They weighed like 100 kilos or something, or less. And yeah, you can, stack those in inflatable balls and just bounce it on the surface and then deflate them and whoop, it just rolls off the ramp and Bob's your uncle. But easy peasy. But no, that's why they had to invent the sky crane thing to land this. And they had to do the sky crane. For those who don't know, it drops. It drops from the... yeah, you've seen it, right? The descent thing, right? Yeah, you've got the descent stage here, and they have to drop this via a big tether. They have to drop the rover via a tether because of the thrusters here. They can't just attach this to the bottom of the descent stage because then the thrusters will be like inches from the surface or feet from the surface, and it'll just blow up so much dust and crap that, yeah, it'd just ruin everything and it'd just cover the rover with dust and things. So they had to drop it via the umbilical, the sky crane, they call it, sky crane remover. They lower it down and it dangles there. And so I can't remember, is it, I don't know how many meters above or whatever. But yeah, it lowers it down, and that's why they have to do it, so that it doesn't kick up as much dust. And then once they get the signal back from the rover, I wonder if that's a transmit thing or whether it'd go up the umbilical. The umbilical would have a signal going up it, wouldn't it? They wouldn't rely on, or would they rely on a wireless signal between the rover and here, the rover and the descent stage to cut the cord? I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. But yes. Oh, the 3D model can be completely disassembled. Oh, when Dave is right. Yeah. So they had to. So they send a signal back once the wheels have detected pressure that it's actually touched down on the surface. Then it sends a signal back to the descent stage. Cut the cables. Or does the rover cut the cables? Because no, it must be the rover that cuts. The rover must do the cutting because you want to cut them at the bottom. You don't want to have these cables dangling everywhere off the rover, so it can't cut them at the descent stage. They must be cut on top of the rover, right? So the rover must have the little explosive cutter charges on it. That I don't know how many. I assume 4 cables. It wouldn't be 1 because then you have this big pendulum-y thing. So it must be like maybe 3 or 4 cables that hold it down. I assume 4. Then it would have to cut the cables, and then once it's cut, the descent stage. Actually, it wouldn't. That's right. No, you wouldn't have to send a signal back to the descent stage. You wouldn't have to, because if the rover's doing the cutting, and it must, otherwise you'd have dangly cables hanging off the thing, then the rover's fully in charge of the cutting. The descent stage doesn't know anything. All it knows is that it's coming down like this, and then, I don't have much, the descent stage probably doesn't even care. All it knows is that, okay, it's using X amount of thrust to put it down gently, and then once the cables are cut via the rover cuts the cables, then that same thrust, because there's 1 ton less weight on it, boom, it just flies away, and then it knows it's flying away, And it just, yeah, it's got something where it flies as far as it can and then crashes. I would love for the rover to go over and see the wreckage of the descent stage. That'd be cool. I hope they do that. That'd be great. Anyway, yeah, so that's how it must work. Yeah, it's obvious when you think about it. There's got to be 3 or 4 cut-in charges on top of the rover that actually cut the umbilical cable. So there's probably no signal going up the umbilical and no wireless between the descent stage and the rover. You probably wouldn't even need comms between them, would you? Don't think so. Do I know more about that antenna? What, the little antenna on top? No, I don't. But it is one designed to send signals low rate, fairly reasonably low rate signals straight back to Earth. It's a higher data link, I believe, if it goes via the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. So yeah, it can just get data higher. There's higher reception levels on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. They use that as a relay, and that's if you want to send huge amounts of data, that's how you do it. But the rover can actually point straight back to Earth and send signals directly back, but it's fairly low bit rate. If I remember correctly. Yes, there is an Australian space agency and they've been tweeting like buggery, and all they do, they've got a new office and they just tweet photos of their office with chairs and things, and they it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. And they're hiring people. You can actually go work with this Australian space agency. They've advertised. Yep. It's an 8 kbps per second data link. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's very low rate. Like they couldn't, but it's better than nothing. So if something happens to any of the orbiters, because there's a couple of orbiters up there and they can use a couple of them, I believe, because they're all standardized on their data links and stuff. So says there's an electrical engineer at JPL. Interview them for the amp hour. Oh, there's tons. I'm sure there's tons we could interview. Yeah, the Ingenuity copter thing, everyone's excited about that. I believe that's a couple of weeks away. Yep. They just want to get the rover moving. First priority is to make sure the rovers, all the rover's systems check out, then make sure it can actually move. I don't know. It'll probably sit there for days before they actually even try and move it, because they're checking out everything. Probably got huge checklists as long as your arm, and then the OH&S team every day. The OH&S team have to give the okay. Yeah, you don't want the crane to go straight up and crash on top of the rover. Yeah, yes, it angles itself. Once it knows that it's no longer descending and the rover's cut the cables and it's suddenly got one ton less weight. I'm sure it's got, sensors on there that can measure strain gauges on the cables. It knows it's been cut, vroom, and then it goes into mode where it, angles, 45 degrees, and then it just keeps going until the fuel runs out. That's it. I don't believe it actually predicts where it lands. It doesn't do anything. It flies as far away as the fuel will let it. So I don't even know if the rover can get to it. The rover's in some massive crater or something. So I don't think there's going to be much interesting stuff to see like we got with the Curiosity rover, going up Mount Sharp and stuff like that. It's like it explored tons of interesting stuff. I think this one's smack in the middle of some big-ass bottom of some big-ass crater somewhere. Yeah, yes, they're using 100 megahertz PC power chip. Yep. Power PC, yes. I'm sure there's going to be no leaky caps. They wouldn't use the liquid electrolyte, let me tell you. Yes, I have heard about the BLC-1 signal from the Parkes Observatory. Yeah, very exciting, but unless they can get it again, I'm like last time it was a microwave oven. Literally, last time they got excited because they got a signal at the Parkes Radio Telescope, it was a microwave oven. Somebody was using, one of the staff were using a microwave oven, and they thought they had this candidate alien signal, and it was a microwave oven. And but no, it's very specific. It's on like 860 megahertz or something, and it's on a frequency nobody uses. And it's like, yeah, but unless they can get it again, I don't. But there's no. Apparently, it's just a carrier tone, and that's it. Like there's no sideband information. There's no modulation. There's nothing. Apparently, it's just a, it's just a tone. It's on a frequency nobody would, think. I don't. There's got to be. Nah, either somebody, I can imagine somebody sitting in the nearby dunnies with a little clicker going, when it transmits 860 megahertz or whatever it is. And, I can picture someone doing that for the lols, and seeing if they pick it up. It'd be tempting to do something like that. So unless they confirm it, I'm not excited. I've been thinking about, give me a thumbs up, getting Paul Horowitz, as in Horowitz and Hill, Paul Horowitz on either the Amp Hour or just on a Zoom call or something, and talking about the SETI, because he's big into SETI. He's like one of the SETI researchers. So I was thinking about getting Paul Horowitz. He actually, I do know him, and yeah, I'm in direct contact with him, so I thought maybe I can ask him to see if he'll come on the show. Yeah, we could be the only intelligent life out there, EPROM 9. Like 20 years ago, I thought, what's the time? 8:42. Okay, maybe go for another 20 minutes or something. I've got to release a video. Yeah, I thought, it was an absolute given that we'd find something. All we've got to do is listen. The universe is so vast. And I thought, yeah, we're guaranteed, it'll take us 5-10 years or something, and we're guaranteed to hear something, and nothing. Wow. Just this minute, unpacking the BM235. Cool. Yeah, there's nothing. So, yeah, now there's talk about, we intelligent life. There's definitely life out there. But whether or not, it's just microbial or, simple, whether or not it actually evolves to our stage that can actually transmit something so that we know they're there, that might be so incredibly rare that, yeah. But, there's bound to be life everywhere. That's a given, but not intelligent life. I think it's so incredibly rare. That seems to be the consensus now. And I have to reluctantly agree, unfortunately. Yeah. Of course, if anyone's watching us, they're deemed there's no intelligent life here. Yeah. Yes, yeah, the big filter, they're calling it. Yeah. Yep. Definitely for the microbial life. I reckon there's still a very good chance of finding it somewhere in our own solar system, either on Mars, on, Europa or somewhere, I think there's still a very good chance. Even the clouds of Venus, now they're talking about and stuff. Yeah, I think there's still probably a good 50% chance we'll find it in our own solar system. Yeah, I'd love to visit the Goldstone Observatory. Yeah. Yeah, I've been to the Hawaiian one. I've been to the top of Mount whatever it is in Hawaii. Been to the top of there. They've got 8 dishes. They've got 8 things up, 8 different instruments up there. It's a lot. So I've been up there. Yeah, just troll the humans. Just send it. It's just apparently that signal is just a pilot tone. Somebody's put a couple of made a couple of transistor transmitter, and they're just sitting in the dunnies just for shits and giggles. I'm sure. Anyway, it keeps people employed, I guess. And everyone gets excited, No, I haven't found anything good in the dumpster recently, unfortunately. Got a broken TV. Who cares what Bill Gates says? Actually, Bill Gates will... that's what I've got to do after this. I've got to do a thumbnail for my latest video, because thumbnails matter, I've got a Bill Gates will be in my thumbnail. I want to do a Bill Gates thumbnail. So I've got to search for a Bill Gates transparent image so I can overlay Bill Gates's head onto a chip. So, and then I'll add a Bill Gates inside logo, like the Intel inside. I'll add Bill Gates inside. Although my Photoshop skills are non-existent. I don't even use Photoshop. Yeah, someone will claim it's all a hoax. Of course they will. We bugger all down here on Earth. You're Monty Python. Yes, I've seen Curious Mark's channel. It's good. Yes, I saw all the criticism against Thunderfoot's debunking of SpaceX. Yeah, that was not his finest moment. Yeah. Although I haven't properly watched and digested it all yet. It's just... I wish he'd stop repeating himself, you know, like, and just, you know, he goes into Hyperloop every time, you know, it's like, SpaceX busted, yeah, I know you want to bust it, he's really got it for Elon, doesn't he? I can understand why, you know, and technically he's right, like the bullshit claims, because, you know, he did make the bullshit claims about 10 times cheaper, and there's even 100 times cheaper claims, and all the you know, a lot of the claims about Starship are bullshit, you know, and stuff like that. So he's not wrong about, you know, criticizing those claims and stuff, but it's not. Yeah, I think he goes too far. Yeah, and doesn't give him credit where credit's due. So, you know. Yeah, like I expected, you know, in that video, like once again, I haven't watched it all. I've only watched parts of it, and I expected him to say, oh, but, you know, yeah, sure, you know, he's done all this cool stuff. But, you know, so you call him out on the things that are bullshit. That's no problem. But yeah, I think he bit off more than he could chew in that one. I think that was not his finest moment. Is it raining there in Borkham Hills? I don't know, because I don't have a window. And it wasn't raining when I came here. Oh, it was wet outside when I came, but it wasn't raining. So probably it could very well be raining. Roadster rocket car. Oh, what a load of bullshit. Any real future for satellite internet? Oh, for sure. For sure. Will a compass work on Mars? Mars has a very weak magnetic field, doesn't it? I don't think so. Yeah, it was definitely a below par video, I think. But once again, I can't comment until I actually properly watch the full thing. But the bits I saw, I thought, you know, yeah. Yeah, Common Sense Skeptic. Yeah, I watch Common Sense Skeptic's videos, and then there's people taking Common Sense Skeptic to task. He's only got like 1,000 subs or something, or 2,000 subs. Hasn't got many. But yeah, there's this new guy, Common Sense Skeptic, and he's just debunking Starship like there's no tomorrow. And, you know, rightly so. There's a lot of bullshit in Starship. There's a lot of bullshit. And you know, it's going to carry 100 people to Mars. No, it's not. You know, it's like, yeah, and he's really ramping out the videos. Yeah, I do like Common Sense Skeptic's channel. I do like it. And then there's people taking him. There's another one taking him to task. I think it's the Angry Astronaut or something is taking Common Sense Skeptic as there, and then trying to debunk Common Sense Skeptic, and they're all going to have space community's going to have a big fight, you know. It's like, I'm sure all the mainstream ones will keep out of it. All your, you know, Scott Manleys and your Tim Dodds and your, you know, whatnots, they'll all stay out of it. I don't think I think they're smart enough not to get dragged down into the Musk into any debunking. Although they do a lot of that. I mean, a lot of, you know, I think Tim Dodd will call it out when he see. I think both of them will call out, you know, bullshit claims when they see them, although they won't use that language. You know, they'll go, oh, I don't think it's going to happen or whatever. You know, they won't be, you know, really anti-Musk. So, oh, there's a Robin Hood grilling on Capitol Hill in 12 minutes. Oh, yes, go watch that. Go watch that. You watch me thank you, Frizzia, watching for a very long time. Yeah, a lot of what Elon says is just aspirational marketing BS people take as fact. I agree with the spirit, but not the humans living on Mars in 10 years. Yeah, no, it's all absolute bullshit. It's all absolute bullshit. And there will, and self-sustain, I've done videos on this, a true self-sustaining colony on Mars where if something happened to Earth, they would just die out. And will not have a full. I'm talking. I once put I think I put a timeline on it of at least 500 years, at least, before they were, because people just don't understand the infrastructure required to get even the most basic materials here on Earth, and then you've got to duplicate all that on Mars if you want to be truly independent civilization. Like the human race here got wiped out, Earth blew up. Wouldn't the Mars colony survive? No, it wouldn't. It would just die out. They'd be dead in, however many decades. They might last a few decades and then they'd be dead. Because all their stuff would break down. They wouldn't be able to manufacture new stuff, and they wouldn't it's just no. I put that on at least 500 years away. It's so far out into the future. It's, which doesn't mean don't try and do it. Right? It doesn't mean don't have a colony on Mars. I'm wearing the freaking T-shirt, right? I'm wearing the freaking T-shirt. Get your ass to Mars, okay? Right? So people say I'm anti-Musk and anti-Mars and all this shit. Bullshit, right? I want to see a Mars colony as much as everyone. You should definitely go. And I'm a big fan of Robert Zubrin's Mars Direct thing. Robert Zubrin, he's written a book, if you don't know. He's one of the proponents of a Mars Direct mission, and we can just get people there and yay, did it. And we can start, help build in like a larger colony, and we can send stuff beforehand, and then we can all do it on a relatively low budget. Yeah, so, yep. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But no, it doesn't mean we start building a Mars colony. I'd rather see a moon colony before a Mars colony, though. I think we should have our asses on the moon permanently. We should have a science base on the far side of the moon, or right on the edge, so that you can do science on the dark side and then transmit back on the near side. Yeah, we should have a permanent base on Mars. A permanent base on the moon. Yeah. Mars Direct was updated like 2 years ago using the newer rockets. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I don't know. I think it wasn't a bad plan. I think it was pretty good. I think it could work. Yeah, how many acres of land on Earth does it take to independently support a single person for 1 year? Yes. Do the numbers. Bang on, right? And that's just a meager existence. That's just feeding yourself. That's not, like mining stuff to build things, and it's just why the moon? What is there to experiment? A, it's close, okay. B, you can pay for it all with tourism, right? Trust me. Once the first tourist goes to the moon and stands on the moon and does a selfie holding their thumb up and covering the Earth, and does that selfie, or, the selfie holding up the Earth like this, and they post that on Facebook or whatever it is, Instagram, people will spend their life savings to take a week's trip to the moon, right? Nobody's going to go to Mars. Nobody's going to spend 7 to 9 months, miserable existence, stuck in a tin can looking at nothing but the other smelly people on the spacecraft for 9 months, land, and then just go around and see, okay, it'll be cool, but the novelty will wear off after a couple of weeks, and then you're stuck to the next transfer back. Nobody's going to do that. Whereas people, spend a couple of weeks vacation on the moon. Shit, we can do that, right? And then the science you can do on the far side of the moon is incredible. Right, because then you've got no radio interference from Earth and no light pollution and stuff. It's phenomenal. No atmosphere on the moon. The science you can do on the far side of the moon is incredible. So have have a colony on the near side, of course, because you want to be able to see Earth. The whole thing about the tourism of going to the moon is that, yeah, you can stand on the surface, bounce around, it's nice and fun. You know, you can't do that on the on Mars, it won't be as fun. You know, you can bounce around like Neil Armstrong, and you can, you know, maybe visit the, the sites, the historic landing sites and stuff. And Artemis, I can't wait for the movie, Artemis. I hope they still make it, which is Andy Weir's book. And it's so fantastic about the Mars colony. Sorry, the moon colony. And... Mars Vegas. Mar Vegas. What's the name of the strip joint on Mars with the 3 titties? or is that the name? Is it Mars Vegas Casino? Yep. And yeah, it's like the moon is a no-brainer. Mars. No tourists will ever go to Mars. Won't happen. So miserable. Yeah, people will get to Mars. Yeah, there'll be intrepid explorers that go there, and you know, but nobody's going to go there for tourism. Yeah, the moon is just, and you can see the Earth. Go to Mars, bye Earth, for 9 months. You can't see jack shit until you land on the surface. Johnny Cab, yeah. Yep. Yes, it would serve as a proof of concept. Yes, Eddie, if we did that. Yes, I agree. It would serve as proof of concept. Yep. Who owns the moon? Well, the people who get there first. People who set up their base, they'll own their own base, but they won't own anything else. Yes, Mars gravity is extremely low. Yes. Oh yeah, but it's not as bouncy as the not as bouncy as the moon. Well, the latest version of Art of Electronics, Andy Mouse, of course, and the extra guide as well. So, yeah, moon base, please. Moon base is a no-brainer. Yeah, I can't believe, you know, you have to. And then it's a great basing point for going to Mars, because the amount of energy required to get off the surface of the moon to head to Mars is naff all compared to the Earth. It's naff all. Yes, I would pay $100,000 to go to the moon and visit the landing sites. You're damn right I would. Although, you know, like... At the stage of my life, I've got to think about my kids, you know, because there's a chance you're going to die, right? It's not, you know, it's not like taking a plane trip. So it'd have to be well proven, right? So, you know, I've got to think of my family. But no, if I was single or I was older, for example, and my kids are all growing up and I've lived my, you know, nice life, you bet your ass people will be lining up to spend their retirement money on a trip to the moon. You're damn, man, guaranteed. Guaranteed. If there's anything guaranteed, that's it. I guarantee. Yes, I would easily spend $100,000. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's cheap as chips. I would spend $100,000. Yes, to go to the moon. Whether or not I'd do it right now, if I was offered it, you know, it's like, yeah, like I'd love to, but yeah, I've got to think of my family, right? If I don't make it back, yeah, you're damn right. $100K is cheap. People would pay $1 million. You could charge $1 million. You'd still have people lining up. There'd be a waiting list years long for people to go to, to take a trip. You know, because it'd be a couple of weeks, right? It's not this, you know, arduous journey to freaking Mars. Nobody wants that. Bloody hell, right? That'd be miserable. That'd be a miserable existence going there. But it'd be great. You know, the couple of, you know, the 4-day trip to the moon or whatever it is, and then spend a week or two there, and you know, bouncing around, visiting the sites, and oh man, it'd be brilliant. And then coming back, and all the time you can see the Earth. You know, it's like, oh man, it'd be life altering. People would pay millions to do it. You'd probably even still have a years long waiting list at 10 million. You'd have all these rich people wanting to do it if it was sufficiently safe enough. You know, you really only, if it's, you know, Yeah, unless it gets proven. So you'll have your real rich bastards first who just don't care, you know, about the 10%, 5% chance of dying or something, and they'll do it. Yeah, it only takes 3 days to get there. Yeah, I want to bounce around. You're damn right. I want to bounce around on the moon, and I'd love to see like the original, sites and stuff. But they won't let you anywhere near them, of course. Uber Moon coming soon. Monorail. Monorail. Space elevator's not going to happen. Yep. Nah, yeah, I would totally spend $100,000. No, I wouldn't even think twice. Man. Whole base being dark for 2 weeks on and off. Oh, well, you get, you have huge solar farms and store it. You're an idiot, Richard. You're a dick. If you're serious and you're not trolling. Richard Kokorin. Nobody went to the moon. Didn't happen. You're a dick. You're so clueless. Unless you're absolutely trolling. I've done a video debunking. A lot of people haven't seen it. It's on my EV Discover channel. I've done a video with my own original research. Thank you very much. I'm the only one who's done original research debunking the moon landing. Debunking the moon landing hoax. Debunking the moon landing hoax. I've done my own original research and proved that they went there. Moon is a cube. It's cheese. Yeah, see, Mount Everest, it's seriously, it will be easier to go to the moon, to take a trip to the moon that will be to Mount Everest. Mount Everest, right, you have to go, it's several months, right? You have to go there for a month just to acclimatize, right? And then it's so miserable, right? It's so miserable experience. I know people who've been to the top of Mount Everest. It's so miserable. So you have to spend there, you have to go there, you have to spend at least a month acclimatizing, and then you've got to, maybe you have multiple ascents and stuff. You've got to stay at various camps, go up, acclimatize, come back down a little bit, go up and acclimatize again. And it's just an absolute miserable experience. But literally going to the moon is having a health and safety check, hop it on a rocket, and off you go. I mean, that's it's not that easy, but it's vastly easier than it's easier to go land on the moon, technically, for your average person than to go to the top of Mount Everest. So, yeah, it's really. Solar roadways on the moon, absolutely. Oh, yeah, I haven't watched For All Mankind. I haven't watched all of it. Yeah, I must do. Mount Everest is not attainable to anyone. No, you are wrong, Swift Rick. You are wrong. Mount Everest is not attainable to anyone. The moon isn't. No, I totally disagree. Mount Everest, you have to be incredibly fit. People die at base camp. Okay, people die at the base camp. Their bodies cannot handle just being at the base camp, let alone being at various other zones above Everest. No, sorry. But your body doesn't endure that when you go to the moon. Okay, you've just got to not freak out in a confined, air system and stuff like that. No, sorry. It's easier to get to the moon. For an average human, it's less toll on your body to get to the moon than it is to get to the top of Mount Everest and get back alive. No. You don't know the number of people who've just died in base camp or died halfway up. or die, but their body's just, you know. Basically, when you get to base camp, you are dying. Your body's actually dying, right? Your body's being deprived of oxygen, your brain's swelling, you know, everything. Like, it's just no. You're totally wrong. Go there. Go and live at Everest Base Camp, let alone at the top, and see what you think. Oh, Theodore. There you go. Theodore Pollock's been there. My headache got too bad past the first camp. There you go. Yep. Theodore's been there. He knows. And how many people died in the space program, mate? No, we're not many, actually, in the scheme of things. But, well, okay, the percentage may be higher for space. What I'm talking about is the toll on the human body. Once it's made safe, okay, once you know, regular trips to the moon happen and everything else, and it's made safe, it is less toll on the human body, vastly less toll on the human body to go to the moon than it is to go to Mount Everest. Okay? And that's a simple fact. Yep. Anyone in general good health can handle a rocket launch. Yes, they can. But there's a lot of people who won't even survive get into base camp at Mount Everest. Oh, well, go and wear your spacesuit. Go and wear a spacesuit at Everest. Go on and spend months there. No, because you've got to, like, your body still has to acclimatize. You've got to, like, get out of the suit eventually. Like, you know, it's like, you can have pressure habs and everything, but they don't, right? So nobody does that. Everest is always going to be well, if your body can't handle being at base camp, well, you're not even going to get any further than that. Yeah, there you go. Rob Hazard lives at 7,000 feet, and people get altitude sickness all the time when actually visiting. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, fine. 9,159 people. But people die at base camp, dude. Most of those people are dragged up there, right? Most of those people have to be freaking dragged up, and they have to spend months acclimatizing, right? And no, it's a much greater toll. Just because people have done it, it doesn't mean jack shit. Once Moon becomes safe enough, you'll be getting thousands of tourists visiting the Moon. It's less toll on the human body. That's what I'm talking about. It's not about how many people have done it. When you can just die at base camp, that's like saying that you'll die here on the launch pad, you know, or you'll be sitting in the rocket and you'll just die, you know, because your body will shut down. No, like, you know, no, right? It's a huge toll on the human body. Yeah, G-forces are no joke, but, you know, anyone with, as somebody said, anyone in good health can survive a launch easily. There's already poop on the Moon. There's already poop in bags on the Moon. Anyway, I better go. It's like 9 o'clock. I've got to release a video, get that ready, and I have to then go to the gym. So anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. Oh, the lander determined its own location somehow. The lander determined visually, like it would have had visual references. They've mapped Mars incredibly well. And yeah, I think they know exactly. They said they knew precisely where it landed. Apparently, the rover calculated its own landing position. So yeah, very impressive. Anyway, they did it. Woot! Oh yeah, the Soviet Venus, right? Cool. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Dave. What, you want to ask a question? No, Diamond. No, I don't know. I don't think I followed it after that. No, I don't know what happened to it. It almost certainly died. Died in the arse, as it was destined to do. Yep. All right, thanks everyone for joining me. I think we had a reasonable number. How many still here? 774 still here. Wow. Thank you very much. All right. Catch you next time. They did it. They did it. Yay. 2 rovers on Mars. Brilliant.